Karen Waldrup is a BMI songwriter, a member of NARAS, the Recording Academy, which is the Grammy organization, the CMAs, and has partnered with Mission of Hope Haiti. She's a top 5 finalist on season 25 of NBC's The Voice and has been featured in Rolling Stone, People Magazine, Netflix, the Hallmark Channel, Bravo TV, Facebook Artist of the Day, NASCAR, ESPN Live, the NFL Experience, Super Bowl, CMT, Fox, Military.com, and hundreds of other outlets worldwide. She has scored 12 Nashville Industry Music Awards and won the 2019 Torch Award from the Keith Whitley Fingerprint on Country Music Awards. Karen was named 2023 Top 5 Artist to Watch by Country Evolution. Waldrup's debut album, Justified, produced by multi-award winner Garth Fundis, known for his work with Trisha Yearwood, Don Williams, and Alabama, debuted on 4 Billboard album charts. Sometimes He Does, one of the songs featured on Justified, was included in Rolling Stone magazine as one of the top 10 country and Americana songs of the week immediately following its release. Music Row icon and historian Robert Oerman deemed the track a disc of the day, adding that Waldrup is a real deal country singer. Throughout her career, Waldrup has played music in over 15 countries all over the world and all across the United States. She bridges the gap between classic country sounds and Louisiana soul. And she is our guest today for the first time ever here on the Boston Chris podcast. Let's get into it.
It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. Until we all lose connection.
Hello, it's Caitlin Lavagna here. Welcome to the Boston Chris Show.
Guys, Boston Chris here with the Boston Chris podcast. And man, I have been a fan of this young lady for at least 8 years that I know of. And
Heck yeah!
I'm talking back in the viral days. And I have a story I'm going to tell her a little bit later that I think she'll be really proud as punch to hear. I don't name drop a lot on this show, but we're going to do that today.
Okay.
But we're chatting with Karen Waldrup for the first time ever, and
Awesome, hi.
the day after her release date for the brand new single "Blue Cowboy Boots," which I think is kind of a "Before He Cheats" kind of song for you, right?
Well, thank you.
Yes,
That's an ultimate compliment. Wow.
I love it. Yeah,
That's a heck of a review. Yeah, I love country music. I love writing songs, and I've been out in the club scene playing country music across America, and so I had a lot of inspiration for this song to write about the club scene and the honky tonkin scene. I know all about it.
yeah. And so like we're gonna include a live performance from Karen's YouTube of the song here on the episode, but I need you guys to understand this is just a live performance, so you guys have to get out to your terrestrial radio stations, your internet radio, request the song everywhere, spin the song, stream it, whatever you do, buy it, go to the webpage. We're going to have all of that in the description down below as well. But before anything else, let's show you guys a live version of this song right here.
Blue cowboy boots. Well, I ain't riding in your rodeo, boy. I've had enough. The boy you've been giving me ain't nothing close to love. I'm tired of lying here awake, taking back my heart, headed for a whiskey break and dressing for the part, getting on my blue cowboy boots. Blues the mood I'm in right now, in my blue cowboy boots. I won't be blue for long, bartender bring it on, gonna dance to every song in my feel good blue cowboy boots. Well, I'm about to round me up some some rowdy and hang me up some fun. I'm gonna bask in the glow of that neon sun. Tall drink of water might take a shine at me. About to get my hat on, my buckle on and jeans, and my blue cowboy boots. Blues the mood I'm in right now. And my blue cowboy boots. I won't be blue for long. Bartender, bring it on. Gonna dance to every song in my feel good blues. Cowboy blues. Blue cowboy blues. I'm gonna get 'em out, shine 'em up, pull 'em on. Get loud, get down in my blue cowboy boots. Who's the mood I'm in right now? My blue cowboy boots. I won't be blue for long. Bartender, bring it on. Gonna dance to every song in my feel good blues. Cowboy blues. Cowboy blues. In my blue cowboy, in my blue cowboy boots, in my blue cowboy boots.
All right, so we are back with Karen Waldrup, and I understand we were supposed to talk yesterday, which was release day, but it was so crazy for you, and I hear something big happened during release day. What was that about?
It was so neat yesterday morning. I appreciate you so much for rescheduling for today. I'm a lot calmer today, so it'll be a lot more fun anyway for us. But so it was a blessing in disguise, but I really appreciate your flexibility. Yesterday we had originally 8 press interviews. So you were the last of the 8, and I had been going since 5 a.m. So
Yeah.
it's probably better because I'm a lot more fresh now. But anyway, so the day started. We were at WSM at Opryland,
Wow.
and it was awesome with Cody and Kelly. And Kelly and I started talking about my boots, my blue cowboy boots. I have a partnership with Wet Kiss. We have our brand new boots that just launched yesterday.
Wow.
And we started chit-chatting about the boots and about fashion in general. And she started to compliment my outfit. And this all happened on air. And then she said that there was a Lynn Anderson estate sale happening. And Lynn Anderson is, yes.
Rose
Lynn
Garden.
Anderson. You know Lynn
Yeah,
Anderson?
of course.
Yes. Rose
Yes.
Garden, yes.
Yeah.
And so she had passed away.
Mhm.
And according to the story from her daughter, she had like 4 homes filled with garments and hats and boots and
Wow.
all this amazing belts and everything. And the family for 4 years sorted it. And it was just the stuff that it was just too much, you know? So they opened up whatever was left. They took the good stuff. I mean, we got good stuff too, but I mean, they had she had amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So the family took what they wanted and then created this huge estate sale. There was so much. But what was beautiful about it is the family only opened it to the industry for the first 2 days.
Wow.
So I got an appointment and we went, did not know what we were going to walk into, thought that maybe I might get a ring or maybe I might get a necklace or something. But I was there from 3 o'clock until 8 o'clock. I was
Wow.
trying on so many beautiful garments that Lynn Anderson wore all over the world. I got her hat box, this amazing travel hat box that she used to travel. She used to wear cowgirl hats all over the world as well as a couple gowns. I got a blue fringe jacket,
Wow.
a new belt buckle, but it was more than just the garments. It was the inspiration to be in her home, surrounded by her garments and hear about her legacy and how similar we are.
Mhm.
Lynn Anderson and I are very similar. We're the same size, so I can wear all her stuff.
Wow. Nice.
Yes. I always wear a cowgirl hat. Not always, but she always wore a cowgirl
Mhm.
hat. Sometimes I don't, sometimes she didn't. But, it's kind of a part of our thing, especially traveling because it's easier to do your hair and stuff. And she has the same size shoe as me.
Wow.
She loved our veterans, did a lot of work with the veterans. She was really in a lot of partnership with the Marines. She had a whole campaign with the Marines back in the 60s. I am very much a huge advocate for the Army with Jim Martin and the D-Day World War II veteran that I wrote with. And she drove a Porsche, and I don't drive a Porsche yet, but I'm
Oh
saving
yeah,
for
it's
one.
coming. Maybe it's coming.
One of these days. Anyway, we just had so many things in common. It was one thing after the next. And even her boots, she put a LH on the heel of her boot, and my blue cowboy boots have a KW.
Nice.
So it was very like, whoa.
What a great story, and that's going to be great. Like, I hope you got some content out of that. Like,
I did,
yeah.
but I'm actually going back because her daughter and I made a great connection. I'm gonna go back on Tuesday,
Good
get
stuff.
kind of whatever's left, go through it and
Yeah.
see, what else is there. And I didn't want to be too greedy and take too much, but she had so much. It was overwhelming. And I can't imagine what the family must have been sorting through. If I'm looking at the leftovers, I cannot imagine what was there to begin
Man,
with.
you know how it is though. Like the music business is like you collect everything. I feel right. Like you don't want to throw anything away.
Well, and one of the other things I think we had in common is that Lynn and I both love to connect with our people and
Yep.
our fans. And in return, part of that is they give you a lot of gifts. They
Yep.
give you hats, they give you bracelets. So my closet is also filled with gifts.
Yeah.
So she said she thinks a lot of this was given to her by hat companies, belt
Sponsorships, yeah.
sponsorships, fans. There's no telling the collection.
Yeah, I think I met Lynn when I was younger too.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to live in Massachusetts that's where I was born and raised. But we had like these little festivals that would come through town, and I remember like Lynn Anderson, Mel Gibson, Mel Tillis, Freddie
Oh, wow.
Fender, the Kendalls, like all these folks that I met when I was real little, like probably 9 or 10 years old. So I remember Lynn Anderson as being one of those.
Was it a fair? I know she did a lot of those
It might
fairs.
have been part of a fair. Yeah, I think it might have been part of a fair. But
The fair thing was a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
That was more of an older thing. They don't do that quite as much. I think they still do, but back then it was huge.
yeah, it's usually when you're on your way up or coming back down, right? Like from start, which I hate that anyway, right? Like I hate that people look at it that way. But you talked about Lynn Anderson. Let's talk about the big song like that you went viral for, which is when I first heard about you, which is Harper Valley PTA.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to tie into the story that I have for you. So I am pretty good friends with Jeannie C. Riley.
Wow.
And so I don't name drop very often on this show, but the first time I saw you was in that video. And
No kidding.
I swear to you, I have a video somewhere of Jeannie C. Riley watching your video for the first time.
Please send me that.
I'm trying to find it. Like, I am trying to find it. I'm struggling to find it. But all I can say is she was very, very, very impressed
I would
with your
love
rendition.
to see that. That would be amazing. One of my fans brought me a signed Jeannie C. Riley album.
Wow.
It's the old original
Yep.
album, the 70s. She had a big collection her mom had. A bunch of stuff was signed, and she said, "You need this." So she gave that to me. So I treasure that one.
So, yeah, I remember those days. And I mean, she was very, very impressed. And in fact, we were doing a podcast episode that day for the Ricky Lynn Gregg show, who's a friend of mine as well. And Ricky and Jeannie kind of came up in the business together. And so we were just kind of it was kind of a reunion for them. They hadn't seen each other in like 25 years. And so one of the topics, obviously, of that podcast was Harper Valley PTA. And that's,
Wow.
I was like, there's a girl going viral with this song, like literally right now. And she had no idea.
It's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What an interesting story and an interesting, wow.
Have you met her yet?
I've not met her. No,
Hmm.
I haven't. I've been really blessed being in Nashville to bump into some
Yeah,
big,
that
huge
happens. Yeah.
stars. And then also I've been blessed to open for some. So I really need to sit down on a rainy day and write down everybody I've met so I don't lose track of that. Because I just keep meeting amazing, inspirational musicians from
Yeah.
all
Make
over.
sure you make time for your memories. That's really important.
I know. I do need to sit down and write down just only people that I've actually met personally.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I wanted to chat a little bit about your kind of your upbringing as well. You're from Louisiana, a small town called Mandeville, right?
Yes, Mandeville, Louisiana. It's right outside of New Orleans, about 30 minutes north on the longest bridge you've ever been on, the Causeway.
Pontchartrain. Yeah, the
Lake
Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain, yeah. Somebody was asking me yesterday, they said, "Oh my gosh, you don't have the New Orleans accent. How do you explain that?" I said, "The dialect is lost on the bridge. I can't explain it. I don't know. We don't have that like Boston sounding Brooklyn question. It kind of sounds like a little Brooklyny,
I feel like the South is hard to kind of determine where people are from anyway, right? Like, I mean, maybe that's just me being from the North, but like, I can't tell like Maryland from Texas. I mean, I could probably tell Texas,
Totally.
but
Yes.
I've been in Texas for a long time, so it'd probably be easier for me there. I wanted to ask you a little bit because I know that you're heavily into traditional country music and you have a lot of soul and edge in your country as well. But like being from right outside of New Orleans, was the music scene in New Orleans kind of an influence on you as well? Kind of that jazzy feel?
I really do. I think it was. I think it was super helpful for me to grow up in a place that was so filled with music. But what I love most about Louisiana is that they don't have boundaries. We don't know what that is. We don't do that. We don't have like a box at all in life. We don't do box in life. We don't do it with cooking. We don't do it with parties. We just don't do boxes. We have a good time. We love people for who they are. We treat all people with love and respect. And as long as you're, kind and loving, we don't do all that. People in Louisiana are fun and lighthearted, and they have very much love for the arts and for, looking at cooking as an art, So growing up there and going down into the French Quarter as a young child, going to Mardi Gras, seeing the bands walking by with the, horns and the fun and the dancing and the freedom,
Yeah. Different
especially
cultures,
women.
all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, and especially women, man. I tell you, women get to dance and have fun and cut loose and drink daiquiris, and we just get to be fun. Women in Louisiana are the most fun, I feel. We have a great time. We try to not do all that drama and all that nonsense. We love people and kindness and good food. And if there's a red beans and rice going, why do you need drama?
Yep. I agree. I'm glad you're kind of on the same page as me with like not being in a box musically and even non-musically, and having that kind of in your toolbox as an artist. I find that interesting because you are based in Nashville now. You have a lot of mainstream appeal. You've been on the shows like The Voice and Nashville Star and things like that. Where everything is a little bit more streamlined. They try to put you in a box a little bit more. So can you talk a little bit about the struggle there? Like maybe a lack of freedom in a mainstream sense?
I was very lucky because by the time I went on The Voice, I already knew who I was. I had been touring on the highway. I knew what I wanted to wear. I knew what I wanted to say. I knew what I wanted to sing. I knew my voice enough to know what keys work well for me. I knew my voice well enough to know what songs worked well for me. So I was really lucky that I was guiding the producers more than they were guiding me. I was like, hey, this is me. This is very my style. That's not my style. I was able to garments, even in band rehearsal, I was able to say like, hey, what if we tried this key, or could we try it with this structure, or could we move the chorus here? Could we build here? So because I was already experienced, I was driving the train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when
I saw that experimentation before that time when you were more independent, that kind of gave you the experience to almost kind of give you like the dues in that room, right? Like they listened a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think they appreciated it. There was
Yeah.
no pride going on. The music director was not like, this is my way or the highway. He was very like, that's a cool idea. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Or he would say like, well, that puts it out of the time limit. Or, he's working with me. It wasn't like either of us were being cocky, and because I was walking in respectfully saying like, hey, and I have my guitar and I'm like, this is how I feel like the structure should go.
Mhm.
And I spent the time in advance kind of creating that. I think he was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
He wasn't, yeah. So I never ever felt like I was being boxed in on The Voice. And I felt like that was really a huge competitive advantage for
I
me.
agree. Certainly was. Yeah.
Because there were other girls that were at the hotel crying because their wardrobe wasn't right and the lady misunderstood. And I don't feel like that outfit is me. And I didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
I was
I mean, you're a veteran at the time too, right? Like you've got like 12 years in the business. You've been up and down the roads. You've written all the songs. You've done all of that stuff. You know what works. You know what doesn't work. I'm just curious.
that was a huge benefit.
Yeah, I imagine so. I think, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to put this out there because I'm almost positive that you are the only artist in the history of music to be a finalist on both The Voice and Nashville Star.
Okay, so actually that might be a misprint. I was not on Nashville Star.
Were you not on Nashville Star?
No, but you can think that maybe you had a dream.
I don't know where I got that from. I thought I read that about you.
That actually sometimes people will write things online that maybe they were
Yeah, that's why we do these interviews, right? To clear that kind of stuff up.
Just set that straight. No, I was not on Nashville Star. That would have been a fabulous opportunity, I'm sure. But no, I was on Platinum Hit, which
Okay.
was in LA, and that was a songwriting show years and years ago. But no, I was not on any Nashville.
I'm going to
Star.
try to find that again, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of wherever
That
I
would be
found
great.
that. Yeah.
My publisher could
That
reach
way
out
they
and
can
try to
fix
get
that. Yeah, because
That'd be great.
that's no cool.
Yeah.
But I did have a question here. I was leading into The Voice. Like I said, you had 12 plus years on the road, very well established. You had loads of viral videos at that point in time. So kind of what was the thinking process for you as an artist to even kind of enter yourself into The Voice experience at that time?
It's funny. People that, they always come up to you at the show and they'll say, you're going to make it.
Mhm.
It's like, you're right. Like I am still playing a club.
Right.
Like I'll give you that. There's only 500 people here. I am still playing a club. I'll give you that all day. So we kind of had plateaued
Right.
the club scene. We had played the best club in Atlanta for country music. We had played the best club in Nashville for music. We played the best club in Dallas for music. We had kind of figured the club scene out,
Yeah.
and as fun as it is, you're always pushing kind of to go to the next level. So I really wanted to take a step up the ladder, and I kind of wasn't sure how, because I'm independent.
Yeah.
So my manager was like,
Complacency can kill you as an artist, right?
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Big difference between contentment and complacement, right?
Yeah.
Big difference.
Of course.
I'm all about contentment, but no, I don't do complacement. I believe that, you want to wake up every day and go out and be thankful for what you have, but shooting for the stars. So my manager had the idea, and he told me on the way to a show, club in Memphis, said, hey, I really feel like The Voice would be the next thing that could really get people excited and unite Waldrup worldwide. We already had 1 million people that love and support my music, but those people had kind of watched me play the club scene. So it was like, let's give them something more, So when I committed to be on The Voice, I had a motto that I didn't tell anybody, especially not another contestant. And my motto was no option. And so I did everything I could the entire process with absolutely no option that anything else would get in the way.
Mhm.
So for that, I sacrificed big time. I didn't go to the movie theater. I didn't go to the beach. I didn't go to Disney World. I didn't do any of that. I just focused like obsessive on being the best I could be, even if it was just a little extra skincare or doing my makeup before rehearsal or just
Focusing on the right now all the time, right?
anything and everything I could do. And I think that just kind of gave me the little bit extra each time to be more prepared than the other person, more rehearsed than the other person, more I'm in my right mind frame because I'm not sitting on my Instagram all day worried about what comments are happening.
Yep.
So I was watching other contestants do stupid things and fall off the bus because they're too busy on what people are thinking of them on Instagram. I wasn't even looking at my Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care about Instagram. I am worried about this right now. So because I am a Virgo, I think that really helped as well. I was able to just really focus on what mattered.
Yeah.
And if it didn't have to do with the show, I wasn't doing it.
Are you an only child?
No, actually one of 4 girls.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you probably have a big family because
Yeah.
that laser focus happens a lot. See, for me, I was an only child. I didn't care about nothing. Like I was just like, you know what I mean? But like I always find like my wife is from a big family as well, and yeah, I feel like when you're in a bigger family, your focus is more streamlined, more laser, and because you're kind of competing with other people all the time, right?
True. I could see that. And especially with me being the 3rd child and the rowdiest child, you can imagine. My sisters are nothing like me. They're like totally different than me, and that's totally fine. But it's like them 3, they're like one birds of a feather, and then I'm the random.
Are you the only one in the family that's music inclined as well, or?
My sister Becca has a beautiful singing voice. She does it, by the bonfire with friends, with the kids, sings karaoke, but she's got a stunning voice. She sings with me sometimes. I do dream about one day putting her on a song and having her on a record.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Special, fly her in for 2 days, have her sing the backgrounds, or just have her featured on a second verse or something. I think that would be really cool.
So I wanted to chat a little bit about with you about songwriting. What is your process like? Is it kind of does it start melodically? Is it more lyrical, or are you starting with a title and then building a story around it, or is it kind of all of the above?
I think it's really all of the above. And the thing about being a songwriter that's such a trip and is kind of frustrating is that sometimes the song comes at the most inconvenient time.
Yeah.
You're like literally headed out the door and you've got a press appointment in 20 minutes and this song is just hitting you. So I'll get my little notes out, and I think probably a lot of singers do this, and I'll just kind of sing it as I'm doing my hair, like whatever I'm singing, and as I'm kind of like doing my makeup or my hair, I'm even driving, I'll just kind of like record just kind of what God is sending me. And then later, when I'm focused with a cup of coffee with my guitar, I'll go back and kind of pull up all the notes.
Yeah.
And be like, okay. And there was one time that I heard this song at a very inconvenient time, and I was in the bathroom in between sets.
Oh boy.
And I heard it and I was like, so I recorded it in my phone, and it was like, I gotta give it to the honky tonk. Like, I gotta give credit where credit is due. And then later sat down and I was like, okay. So I brought that to a really incredible writer, Leslie Satcher.
I love Leslie.
Yes.
Good friend of mine. Yeah.
And we changed it. Instead of I got to give it to the honky tonk, it became blame it on a honky tonk.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just kind of tighten it up, make it a little bit more easy for people to sing. She kind of brings the pro. So I do have a lot of songwriters in my life that I can text if I've got a great idea.
And Leslie's great. She's a great person, too.
And she'll jump on, or Ed Hill, they'll just jump on Zoom, or I can whip over to their studio. So I'm lucky for that.
Yeah. That's good stuff, man. Yeah, Leslie's a great writer, man. I wish more people knew about Leslie Satcher.
Dude, she's amazing.
She's incredible. And just a top-notch human being as well, to be sure.
Sure.
I love chatting about songs and how they come to be. So you're able to kind of pause time for whatever's happening in your life and make a note. Is it hard for you to get back into that headspace when you're trying to flesh it out?
Yes.
So how do you manage to do that?
A lot of times I don't have a choice. I was at Eddie's Attic in the green room after the gig and before the gig. Yeah. And I was walking on stage in 10 minutes, and I'd started to write this song about this guy I know who literally was dating this girl, but the girl was like afraid to get to know him too much. So she kind of kept this wall up, and then they ended up splitting ways. And I just started writing this song into my phone of like, girl, you are so stupid. Like, he's the best dude ever. How could you be so stupid and miss him? Like, he's like an angel on the earth. Like, how stupid are you? So I created this whole idea, but then I had to be on stage. So I haven't had a chance to sit back down, and I don't even know what key it's in. Like, I got to figure out what key is it in. And usually I find that the key that God sent it in is typically the best.
Right.
Later, sometimes I'll pull it up.
Well, the song always leads the way, right? The song rules
Correct.
the room. Yeah. I love that so
Correct.
much. Last thing I wanted to chat with you about before we head into kind of a fun segment is your Mission of Hope Haiti. I know this is really important to you, and I always try to give artists a chance to be an advocate for the things that are important to them. So, number one, I want to put a link in the description below for this organization. Tell us a little bit about it and why it's important to you.
So Mission of Hope Haiti is an organization that I've been working with for a few years, and I love them. They're amazing. They came to me in 2018 and approached me about going to Haiti, traveling to Haiti, seeing the poverty and seeing how my music and platform could help. So went there, spent, I think, 5 days, and each day they exposed me to more and more shocking poverty. And by the end of it, I was in a woman's house with blue tarp, holes in blue tarps, and just really had multiple kids and just really needed a home. So we ended up building 3 homes, Waldrup Worldwide, threw their money together. And my most important thing was that they had a lock. You know, I didn't like that I mean, there's so many still, obviously, but these specific women, that was my request, that there was a door with a lock so that they could go to sleep with those kids at night and not have to worry about anybody stealing from them or whatever, or hurting them. And so we started with the 3 homes, and I truly believe that my partnership with Haiti has just begun. And so I'm just letting God lead the way. We went there and we played music for orphanages. We played music for, the elderly. We played music for kind of anybody and everybody who we could. And that was really moving. And my saxophone player, Chris, came with me. He's been with me longer than anybody in the band. And he came with me, and we got out and just did our thing.
Man, when you're from New Orleans, you got to have that sax player, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I feel that.
Man.
Yeah.
I love that. Speaking of New Orleans, let's talk about the second song we're going to include here. It's called Louisiana Hurricane. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Louisiana Hurricane is a song about my roots, where I'm from, being from Louisiana, loving music, loving having a good time, and comparing a Louisiana hurricane to having a good time. Like this is what's about to happen. Like we're about to throw down. We're about to have a good time. So it's kind of the double entendre that Blue Cowboy Boots has. It's like, yes, you're talking about a cocktail, but you're also, people think when they see it, you're talking about an actual hurricane, which you're not.
Yep.
So it's just fun to write creatively like that. And that was a Leslie Satcher co-write.
Yeah, wow. That doesn't surprise me at all. And one of the worst times I ever got, like one of the worst drunk out happenings in my life was on Bourbon Street because of hurricanes. And
I can believe that.
I was in the military at the time, and I was stationed in Meridian, Mississippi, and we would go down to New Orleans every other, I guess it was one weekend a month we'd go down there. And at 17 years old, they would let me drink. I just had to show my dog tags. You know what I mean? So,
That's funny.
So yeah, I think I had 2 hurricanes one day, and I was blitzed. And
Yep.
I changed the name of the drink, how many I had. I think I was telling people I had 4 torpedoes or something like that.
That's great.
Oh man.
Yeah, you got to be careful with them for sure. I've warned people going down there. They're like, what advice do you have? I'm like, just don't mess with those hand grenades. Just stick with here.
Well, they had a limit. Like I think you were allowed to have like 1 or 2, and that was it. And then they would cut you off. You weren't allowed to have a third. But
Totally.
I kept stealing my friends. Like they would have they'd finish like half of it, and they'd be done, and I'd finish the other half. But
You were hooked on the hurricane.
I loved it. Yeah, 17, man. I'm not much of a drinker now. I think I got it all out then. So we're good to go. But y'all, this is Louisiana Hurricane from Karen Waldrup. Y'all check it out.
Let's do this. Louisiana hurricane. Louisiana hurricane. I didn't come here for y'all to sit down all the way out to the edge of town just to watch you come out here and dance. Y'all keep a beat and took an hour to do this hair. The heat's done got it, I don't care. I'm about to Dolly Parton, turning into Janis Joplin, pulling these sailors up tricks, just like all three Dixie chicks. I'm about to Cajun up this joint. There's only one thing that I want. When you talk about me, tell them you just took a train of a Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, 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 Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, 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 Louisiana hurricane. I might do some spooky thing. No telling who I'll be when you hear me sing. I ain't scared of the trouble I'm starting. I've been the darling of New Orleans. I can't be your country queen, covered up with some rhinestone bling, all the way back to Baton Rouge. You're gonna dream of these cowboy boots. I'm on Dolly Parton, turning into Janis Joplin, pulling these sailors up the tricks, just like all three Dixie chicks. I'm about to Cajun up this joint. There's only one thing that I want. When you talk about me, tell them you just took a train of a Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, 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 Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Take us to Louisiana. I'll jump off in it like the Pontchartrain. I'm about to bring it like a long black train. Hit it like a Dolly Parton, turn it into Janis Joplin, pulling these sailors up the tricks, just like all three Dixie chicks. I'm about to Cajun up this joint. There's only one thing that I want. When you talk about me, tell them you just took a drink. Spent all night long and done all the break of a Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, ooh, Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, ooh. Eric Church's honky tonk. Louisiana hurricane. Ooh, ooh. Somebody get a picture of us. I want to get a picture. Y'all make some noise for my girls. I love y'all. Louisiana hurricane. Louisiana hurricane.
All right, so we are back with the one and only Karen Waldrup here on the Boston Chris podcast. The brand new single is Blue Cowboy Boots, and you guys make sure you're streaming that everywhere. We're going to have a little fun with Karen, then we'll let her on her way. These segments are kind of like little reels that I do to get people excited about the full episode, so they don't take too long. The first one's called Did You Know? Can you tell us something your fans may not know about you?
You know, I don't think people realize that I really, really, really enjoy like kayaking. Like
Really?
the simplicity of kayaking. Yeah, people, I don't really talk about that much. It's kind of like a personal thing I do. Like I just throw the kayak in. We live close to the lake. So it's kind of like, it's nice to just throw it in for like 2 hours. You know, you doesn't have to take up the whole day. Just a little something, something, throw it in at sunset, you know, paddle around for a minute, get a good arm workout. That's a nice thing that doesn't require like, you don't have to like clean the boat after or pack all the, you know, cooler. You can just kind of go throw it in and go, you know, do that. And so I love the lake life. That is something that actually we live outside of Nashville a little bit, not too far, but I can be in Nashville in 20 minutes, but I also have the beauty of living by the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of am a lake life girl. I love to go out to eat with the sun setting over the lake, the peace. I love the water. I love turtles.
Love it.
I love to go get some delicious food at you know, we did that last night to celebrate. We went to a place right here by the house that's on the water, got to see the water, got to eat some some seafood. I got a halibut. I love fresh wild caught fish.
Nice.
A lot of appreciation for the ocean.
I was gonna say, being from New Orleans,
River.
that doesn't surprise me one bit. Being a water girl.
Yep.
All right, next one's called Mount Rushmore. We talked about Lynn Anderson. We talked about Jeannie C. Riley. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of country women?
This is not even a question that needs to even be thought about. Dolly, hello.
Mhm.
She's in the background. You see, she's with me. My living room is decorated Dolly. I'm in my living room right now, and everything's decorated Dolly. These were actually given to me by a friend of mine, Carolyn, for Christmas last year or the year before. And so I've just kind of got like Dolly coasters and Dolly books out, and I kind of have a 1970s mid-century modern retro style that we went with, which I think is fun, you know, funky and weird. Like you see the pillows behind me and my couch is green. So I love Dolly, and I've never gotten to meet her, but I did meet her stylist yesterday at Lynn Anderson. So I'm getting closer. I told him, I said, maybe I could just like be borrowing an outfit the same day and be really.
You get 3 more ladies on Mount Rushmore. Dolly's the first. So who
Okay. And is it meet them or work with them?
just whoever you think the best 4 women are in country music history.
Oh, in history.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that one. Wow. Okay, so definitely Dolly. Gosh, I gotta say I would put Miranda Lambert up there.
Okay. Yeah.
She's a great songwriter. I look at her as an inspiration for like brand partners and career growth. And she is focused and she is crushing and she makes great music.
Yes.
Like
Great
her
writer.
music. Her music is great. She has a gift to be able to collaborate with other musicians and not step on them or let them step on her. I think she does a really good job with that. Gotta shout out my girl Lainey Wilson, my Louisiana girl. Girl is on it. She is on fire. She is incredibly kind. I got to meet her at backstage at The Voice. She is she has this peaceful Louisiana energy about her that I like. She's not overwhelmed. She's I think she's very focused on what she's doing, appreciative of what she's doing, and her songs are just so good. Like I was listening to her somewhere over Laredo yesterday, and I'm just driving. I'm by myself. I talk to myself. I'm like, that shit is good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but that shit is freaking great. You know? So if I hear a great song, I appreciate it. I appreciate the writer of that song. I appreciate the creativity of that song. And I also appreciate the fact that Lainey is from Louisiana, and I think she's a good representation of Louisiana women. And I see her as somebody that I would like to work with one day as a Louisiana
never
girl,
know.
you know?
Yeah, you never know.
You know, you gotta set your sights high.
Absolutely.
So
All right,
gotta say
so one
her,
more.
gotta say her.
You got Dolly,
No, I
Lainey,
don't know.
and Miranda. One more.
I would have to put Janis Joplin.
Okay.
You know, she's so vivacious and her music was so free and she was so her vocal tone is so unique and distinctive that you can hear a Janis Joplin song on level 2 at the restaurant and you're like, I think that's a song, and no, it's her. Like her voice is so.
And you went viral with
special.
Janis Joplin as well, didn't you? With Mercedes Benz.
I've done a lot of covers. Yeah, I did. Mercedes Benz. Thank you for bringing that up. And a lot of times people will ask me to just bust into that at a gig somewhere, and that's
song.
really cool.
Yeah, I love that song.
She's probably the one that if I got up to heaven and God was like, great work, my child, singing, can you pick from all these people to go have lunch with? I would be like, let's start with Janis.
Yeah. I've heard some great Janis Joplin stories from somebody who was in her first band, the Waller Creek Boys, back in the day. He's no longer with us, but man, his name was Paul St. John, and he was in her band with her back in the day, and he had some great stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Stories that represent her in a positive light.
Oh
like
yeah.
with her
Oh
generosity.
yeah, absolutely. This was back before she was, really into the influences and stuff that kind of was her downfall. So this was back when she was uber creative, like the folk days kind of, because they were a folk band. They were a folk trio.
Wow. And he said she was just really creative and always coming to the table with great stuff.
Yep. It was good stuff. All right, next segment is called What the Heck. I'm just going to pull 5 random questions, and this is in rapid fire fashion. So whatever pops into your brain, give it to me.
Let's go.
All right, number 1, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Ooh, okay. That doesn't surprise me, Louisiana.
I'm good on that.
All right, number 2, are you more of a hunter or a gatherer?
I would say I'm a gatherer.
Okay.
I love to unite people.
All right, number 3, what was your most awkward moment on stage?
Oh my God, this is super easy. Okay, so so I'm in college at the University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg, and I had not very much experience touring or anything. So I had these adhesive stick-on bra that because I had an open back. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. And in the middle of the show, I swear the bra just falls into my shirt, of course. So I'm like, oh no, I don't know.
Well,
what
that
to
could have
do.
been worse then.
So I run off stage, and my friend that's playing, she was also a rookie. And instead of her doing what a professional would do, which is just play the next song and act like it didn't happen, she says in the microphone, "Karen, where did you go?"
She called you out.
She didn't know better. We just didn't have any experience,
Oh, my
And
God.
she's like, hold on, guys. We need to find Karen. She just left. I don't know why she left. It was just so awkward. And I was backstage, like, looking for duct tape or anything I could to go back on,
Oh,
And so
my
that's kind of
gosh.
a funny, I think your women listeners will be laughing at that because they'll get that better than men.
The
Y'all will probably
wardrobe
believe me, but the women-
malfunction from Karen Waldrup. There you
The
go.
women are like, oh my God, that's so bad.
All right, number 4, on average, how many times a week do you hurt yourself attempting to dance in the shower?
Dancing in the shower, not as much probably as singing in the shower.
Yeah.
I love to sing. I still love to just sing. I was singing this morning doing my dishes. It's cool to like do what you love and don't feel like and so anytime I challenge myself with this as well. Anytime someone says, like, even in an elevator or make a joke at the gate, like, oh, we see you have a guitar, are you gonna sing for us? I will literally start singing. Like, I know that it's my job, and I know that it brings light, and I know that it makes people smile, and I know that guy's probably working really freaking hard all day long, and he probably hasn't had anybody do anything for him that day. So I don't miss my chance on that. I'll just bust out. I'll just bust out right there at the gate.
All right, last one on this segment. What are you most afraid of?
Most afraid of? That's such a great question. I think it would probably be like doing something and someone misunderstanding or it getting twisted and me ending up like in jail or something.
Yeah.
Like I would hate that. I wouldn't be able to play music. I wouldn't be able to tour. So I live my life. I can honestly say that I live a very ethical life, and I don't like mistreat people or steal or rob people or do a lot of things that people go to jail for. But like if there was some frame or somebody planted something in my car or something and I got busted and I had to get attorneys and now I'm in court, and that kind of thing would just be so horrible. And that happens to people.
See, for
And
me,
so
I'm very close to that. Like, as an interviewer, I can honestly say, like, every single person that I chat with on this show, I enjoy them. Like, I'm a fan, right? So,
Yeah.
like, I don't just have somebody on because there's someone or they're whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But, like, for me, it's somebody that I love. I enjoy their music or I enjoy their story or whatever. And, like, my biggest fear as an interviewer is to say something that isn't meant the way that it came out.
Oh, I know. That has
know?
happened. That has happened to me as well. Like I accidentally said a curse word live on the air one time for like a kid friendly thing. Yeah, that sucked.
Well, like I just had someone on recently, one of my favorite songwriters ever. Her name's Courtney Patton. She's in Texas. And I said the word self-righteous instead of self-reflective.
Oh.
And right. So like thankfully she was super understanding, but like the wrong word came out and I felt so terrible about it. You know what I mean? I'm such a big fan. So like the last thing I want to do on this show is like offend somebody or sensationalize something. Like,
Totally.
I'm not that kind of content creator where I'm trying to get somebody to say something or, it become clickbait and stuff like that. Like, I legitimately enjoy the stories. So
Absolutely. I feel you on that.
So your answer to that kind of reminded me of that. So
we're all human. We all
absolutely
make mistakes. We all do things that we look back and say, "Dang, why did I do that? Why did I say that?"
Yep. And thankfully, I can edit it out if I need to.
Yes, right.
But really, like, I'm not worried about offending somebody else. I'm worried about offending the person that I said it to. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
obviously, everything's cool and all that. All right, next one's called One Artist. Who is one artist you wish the entire world knew about, other than yourself?
Wow. This is a strange answer. My girlfriend, Bailey Cole, she's such a beautiful soul and her voice is incredible. And she's a great artist, songwriter, person. She's independent. She's working so hard. And her music is very soothing. So I wish that everybody had a chance to hear that and her tone and how calming it is. So
Nice.
Shout out to Bailey Cole.
Nice. And I do that one because I want people to know, we're going to tag and feature that person and all that. So
Yeah, Bailey Cole. Love you, girl.
All right, next one. What is the biggest lesson that you have learned directly from music?
The biggest lesson that I learned from music is that life has unexpected chapters. And, some days this is my friend Paul Worley taught me this. Some days are diamonds and some days are shit. And you're going to have bad days and you're going to have things that happen that you're like, oh my God, it's so annoying, or something that has nothing to do with you, but it affects you in a sideways way because somebody you're affiliated with or something that you may have said or whatever. So I think that in music, it's an unexpected ride and it has a roller coaster of ups and downs and also different chapters. But I think music has taught me to be flexible and to go roll with the punches, even down to like going to the grocery and I wanted the limoncello LaCroix, but they don't have that one.
Yeah.
Instead of getting annoyed and being like, I hate Kroger, they never carry the one I like. It's like, okay, well, I've never tried this strawberry one, so I'll just try that and I'll get it next time. Music has taught me how to
Patience.
and how to be flexible and to try and to have curveballs thrown at you and learn how to pivot quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been situations where we went to a gig and it was like, oh my God, I didn't know there was going to be all these kids here. So we got to take out, our drinking song because this is a church, So there's things like that like you have to learn how to pivot quickly, easily. You miss the flight. Oh my gosh, you missed the plane because you didn't think about the time zone change, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So music has helped me to kind of learn how to be like, dang, we missed the flight. Like, all right, well, let's go over the gate. This is stupid. I can't believe we did it. Let's fix it rather than like having an anxiety attack.
I love that. Great answer.
Yeah.
All right, next one's called Moment of Gravity. Can you look back in your life and see a moment in time that really kind of changed your trajectory as an artist more than any other? Like, this can be a person or an event or an item, just something that you can look back at and, maybe music went from a hobby to this is like what I want to do kind of thing.
I would probably say just the very first time I got a gig. It was at Mugshots in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And they were paying like $100 or $150 to come play, whatever, in a tip bucket. Yeah. And that changed my life. That very first, the guy's name is Boudreaux, and I'm still really good friends.
That's crazy.
Right? I'm like,
yeah,
they're going to pay me and they're going to put a bucket out where other people can give me more money. Like, do these people know that I would do this for free?
Right.
Like, I felt like this is like crazy, Mm-hmm. So that was when I was at Mugshots and the very first gig, and the guy that was playing before me was in the little back room counting all his money, and he was all excited and had all his money, and he was very like doing that. He had obviously been doing that for years. And I remember being like, wait a minute, you made all that money? And he's like, yeah, people tipping me. And I said, what do you mean tip you? And he's like, well, if you play a song they like, or you play Midnight Train to Georgia, they might give you a little $10, their favorite song, their mom's favorite song, whatever, you kind of connect. And I just said to him, I said, man, I would do this for free.
Yeah.
And he looked at He goes, girl, that won't last long.
Right? I bet it didn't either. Once
It didn't.
no.
About 2 gigs later, I was there counting 2.
I love that. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. All right, next one's
Thank
called Grateful. Can you tell me 3 things that you're the most grateful for?
You're such a good interviewer.
Thank you.
The 3 things that I'm most grateful for is, first of all, my voice.
Yeah.
My voice is, I am not snotty because I did not create this voice. God did. So I find it to be very turn off when I meet people who think that because God gave them that gift that they can be a bitch. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how do you not see that you didn't do that? Like, God did that. So I don't understand how you missed that. Like, you got the ultimate gift from God that so many people would want to have, and you're going to be a jerk about it. Like,
Right.
That's crazy to me. So, humility and appreciation for your voice. Of course, yes, it takes care. You have to drink a lot of water. You have to do your vocal warm-ups. You have to get better. You have to learn how to breathe. Yes, but like at the end of the day, you sing like that because God did that. So I'm sorry, but you're not that awesome. Like, stop being a snot. So I'm very grateful for my vocal cords. I'm very grateful for Waldrup Worldwide, which is my people all across the world who love and support my music, and stream it, share it, love it, appreciate and support me. If I launch a hat, they buy it. If I want launch a t-shirt, I'm very grateful for the people who make it possible.
Mhm.
And then I would say I'm very grateful for my team. I've got some people who volunteer with me. And that is just such a gift from God. I mean, people who will kind of be there for me. Bonnie Bostic is my rock. She is behind me no matter what. She's there through the good days, the bad days, the upside down days, the sideways, and everything in between. So I'm really grateful for her and for my friend Robin Roberts. He's also my manager. Very grateful for their passion and zest for music. I'm very grateful for my husband. He's part of my team. He's, if he needs to show up and represent me in a pearl snap, he's going to iron that thing out and look great, and drive the band or go put my guitar in a safe hotel room. He'll jump in and help. My band. So basically just my whole team. Hunter Jurgens, who's always helping with digital. She does my digital. My publicist, Scott. I mean, it's just my team.
Yeah.
My team. And people want to give me all the credit, but I'm like, can we please bring everybody on the stage right now?
Yeah.
I don't know that there's enough room for everybody that made this night happen. So it's interesting that everybody wants to clap and give you the credit, but there's so many people that are standing in this room that made this possible.
Yep, it's true. The ones behind the curtain is what makes it happen, man.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's funny. I forget who said it, but like when you look at a machine, a well-oiled machine, you can never visibly see the cogs that make it work.
Yeah.
You know
Thank
what
you
I'm saying?
for that. Love that. Yeah.
So I feel like with this show, the songwriter, the producer, everybody behind the scenes, the cogs, those are the ones that I also want to shine a light on as an interviewer. And like we have songwriters on the show all the time that have won Grammy Awards that nobody's ever heard their name, and that like legitimately hurts my feelings, right? Like literally, that's why I do this, right? So
I love that.
yeah, I love it. So last question, it might be the hardest one for you to answer. Who is Karen Waldrup?
Karen Waldrup is a girl from South Louisiana who loves people, who loves to have a good time, who loves to enjoy life at its fullest. Somebody who loves to give back when she can, even if it's just the smallest thing. I love to give back to people. I love to be generous. Karen Waldrup is somebody who loves our military, who loves Haiti, who loves horns, who loves New Orleans, the beach, people,
And turtles.
dogs,
Don't forget turtles.
turtle. Yeah. I feel like I'm a good artist. I feel like I'm a great wife. And I feel like sometimes I'm maybe not the best daughter. And that's something that I'm constantly working on, being there for my mom in better ways. And I feel like I can be incredibly channel focused, which can also cost me sometimes in my personal life. So that's something I work on as well, making sure that I have the right balance. Sleeping in the morning if I need to, like taking care of myself. I love to work out. I enjoy doing home workouts. I know that sounds kind of dorky, but I do.
Not
I
at
really
all. I have videos. I'm a content creator. I do. We used to do something called Fitness on Scene.
yes,
So
yes.
I would just do something like I'd find a little pond somewhere and do a yoga workout and then just put it on YouTube. Why not,
yes.
right?
My sister told me about home workouts. I'm like, years ago. I'm like, I'm not ever going to work out from home. No way. I was hooked on going to the YMCA and getting a locker and parking. And then I realized, like, I am wasting like an hour just parking. And
Well, then COVID happened too, right? So it's like, man, like the
then
gym
I
was
was like,
so scary at that time.
and I was like, can you send me that home workout link? And I never
Mhm.
went back. The results are great. It's just, it's quick. It's efficient. I don't have to fix my hair. It's great.
Yep, I love that. Guys, I want to let everybody know how you can follow along with Miss Karen Waldrup. It's KarenWaldrup.com. I'm also going to list all of her @, so you can follow on social media. On Facebook, it's @Karen Waldrup. X is @Karen Waldrup. Instagram is @Karen Waldrup Music. TikTok is @Karen Waldrup Music. YouTube is just Karen Waldrup. You can follow along and stream her everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, all over the place. Miss Karen Waldrup, thank you so much for being my guest today on the Boston Chris
Thank
Show.
you so much. You did such a great job. I had a great time.
Thank you so much.
Hey there, this is Robert Ellis Earl, and thanks for tuning in to the Boston Chris Show.